Welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got the oldest whisky that I've ever tried, not just on the channel, just ever in general. I've had some old and rare whiskies. I think the oldest I've been up to is possibly 40. This is 58 years old. There's nothing on it, so yeah, this could be anything. But this was sent to me from a friend at work whose grandfather, Papa, used to work in the industry, and he used to like whiskey. He used to open whiskey, share it out, drink it. And one of these bottles that he had is a 1948, so distilled in 1948 and bottled in 2006, Glen Grant. So that makes it 58-year-old, if my math is correct. The only the only thing I have is this little drawing on the top of it. So there's no label or anything like that. So I just have to trust him. He did send me a picture of the bottle, but I'll have to trust him, and you'll have to trust me that this is what that is. So for that reason, I'm not going to review this as a normal kind of review with a whiskey win or a whiskey bin, but we are going to explore it a little. So he sent me enough for, this is my second dram, and I gave Stevie a dram of it. I thought I would share it out with him. So yeah, we sat down with this, Stevie and I, the other night, and this was our first whiskey of the night. And we then followed it on by several more whiskies. But yeah, we'll get down to the nose, the palate, and the finish. It's 40% ABV, by the way. Don't ask me how much it was when it came out. I can imagine maybe a couple hundred, or possibly even just over £100 in 2006. But now it's like 1,500. It's way over £1,000, sometimes even £2,000. Yeah, the first thing about this that Stevie and I picked up was how vibrant it is. Even though it's bottled at 40% ABV, even though it's 58-year-old, it still packs, like, it's fruit, lots of tropical fruit, lots of tinned peaches, there's pineapple cubes. It is very fresh, and this is going to be contradicted when I say it's also got that fusty. The reason I'm laughing is because everybody's been pointing out the fusty tasting notes recently, saying that I'm using it too much. But it's got that persona, like a kind of older whiskey, like your loft, a little bit stewy, a little bit dusty. But it's still so fresh, it's mental, and it's another one of those whiskies that's the nose goes on forever. There is some wood there, nothing overpowering, nothing shocking, but the nose is just fantastic, and I'm actually so grateful I've got to try something of this calibre. But yeah, the nose, yeah, it's just, yeah, you can stick it right in, obviously being 40% ABV. Oh, there's like pastels, it is a little chalky, but yeah, no barley or anything like that really. It's sweet, possibly some kind of what's that kind of dusting sugar you get, like castor sugar or something like that. It's just the nose is actually fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, the nose is brilliant. The palate, where it falters slightly. It's a little spirity at 40% ABV. It's really woody. There's a lot of wood. It's got a little bite to it in the palate, in the mouth. The mouth feels lovely though. Somehow coating at 40%. There's a real black pepper spiciness to it. It is quite spicy in the palate, like I said. It's quite bitter, quite earthy. It's not as fruity at all. It's got a complete contrast from the nose. It's more reminiscent of like I don't want to say cheap whiskey, but just like an atypical whiskey. Like you get a little bit of a burn, a little bit of a heat in the palate, but there's still something quite special about it. There is something fragrant right at the front. There's also like almost peat. Now, I don't know, I'm not that much of a geek and I've not actually checked if Glen Grant would have been using peat back then, but there's definitely a little bit of peat there. I didn't get this the first time with tasting it with Stevie, but I'm getting it now. There has to be peat in there. There's something like an earthy, creamy peat flavour that I'm getting. I don't know if they would have used peat back then. They might have. Speyside Distillery using peat. I don't know how common that would have been back in the day, 1948. But that's all I'm really getting. A little bit of licorice there as well. It's woody. It's definitely woody. A little varnish. Those kind of qualities. The finish is surprisingly long. It's got a bit of length to it. Warming, more wood. There's some peanuts. There's also something like it might just be licorice. I'm just thinking of. That's in the palate as well as the finish, I suppose. It kind of encroaches onto the finish. Those like chewy, like gummy sticks of licorice. That's what I'm getting in the palate. The finish, sorry. Definitely a lot of licorice, a lot of that kind of element to it. So yeah, the whiskey. I'm not going to finish this. I might actually just keep some of this, or I might just finish it to see how I feel. But this is something fantastic, something special, a one-off for me. Really grateful. Do I think this is an absolutely outstanding, amazing whiskey? No. The nose is beautiful, the palate's a little bit of a letdown, and the finish is fine. I'm not the hugest fan of licorice, but I get that there. It's a conversation piece. It's something that Stevie and I sat with for a good half hour, 45 minutes just discussing. It's 3 years after the World War ended, World War II. It's mental to think what would have been the thoughts, the emotions of these people at the time distilling this. Do they think they would have had a pessimistic or an optimistic outlook on life? Are they just doing their job? Are they just working away? They would have never known that some little Scottish numpty would be sitting down and recording this on some sort of cellular device and broadcasting it to whoever and wants to watch it. They would have never thought that. It would have been completely incomprehensible, unimaginable almost, the future that this whiskey would hold, and now that I'm just spoiling it. But no, it's a conversation piece for sure, and I need to thank Moby for giving me this. I'm really grateful for it, Moby. Like I say, yeah, the flavours, they aren't that great. It's a little bit harsh, but the nose is brilliant. So yeah, that's been my review. It's not going to be a whiskey win or a whiskey bin. It's just going to be here to be enjoyed. So I've been Stuart. This has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.